Hello, welcome. This is really a great entertaining part for me. I'm Junaid Hamish, who was in front of you making a blog which is made by the accuracy of therapy, English therapy, and cooperated by Saiful Islam sir. So today we have a lots of English speaker or those who have enough efficiency on English. We will make a couple of interviews. So let's have introduce someone here in there. So there is a couple of students. We'll ask you a couple of questions to all of them. Not paid. It's not paid. It's free. Okay, no problem. Very first. Okay, very first. I would like to have an interview. Which man is sitting down here who has two branches for IELTS. I would like to ask him a couple of questions very first. So, sir, as a teacher, you might be pleased for English. So, would you please tell us what are the things that you inspire a lot to be an English teacher?
Basically, I like to talk to people. I like to talk to the students, and I like the public speaking. I like to teach people. So that's why basically this basically inspire me to teach.
Would you don't mind, would you please tell us what type of strategy you follow for your students?
Basically, you know that English language, this is a language, right? So you have to follow the method, the natural method, like the way we develop our mother language. So that's why I give a lot of time to my students for their development, and finally I saw that they're improving. So this is the method basically I follow them.
Thank you so much. So he has given his view really crucial message we have got from this teacher. So however, we have a few more teacher here. So I would like to ask him a couple of questions here on. And here is a look at this, the person, each and everyone pro for spoken English. I'd like to ask the questions to here. Would you please come across here?
What do you want me to ask?
I'll have a look at this. This is the man who has been outstanding throughout the online and offline too. And definitely he has been outstanding. So I have a question. I don't know how need to get his introduction. Very first, I'd like to ask a very vital question. Would you please tell us what are the things that give you inspiration to be a good speaker in English?
Okay. So the first things I would like to tell you all that, well, you know, the money makes you everything. Like if you don't feel like doing something, if you have something to gain in your life, of course that can really give you the motivation. So let me tell you something here. When I was a student at my college, so my chairman, sir, he used to pay us, like if you know how to speak in English. So when I was like watching that, so every month, people are getting money about 500 taka. I was like, well, let me try it out and let me do it in a different way. So I approached that. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, like that's what motivated me a lot, and that's it. I mean, after that, I started doing practice. I started learning English and started speaking with people all around the world, and somehow I learned English with accents. That's it.
Okay, this is very interesting. You have given your views about there. So would you please tell us what are the strategy that you followed very earlier of your learning process?
All right, the first thing that I immediately started was I started following the people in the US and the UK. I wanted to learn English exactly the way they did. Because you know the people in our country also, they know how to speak English, right? But English is not their language. So what I did, I wanted to go somewhere the people start English as their first language. So I wanted to get closer as much as I could, and I just started to learn English from them. That's the first thing that I did, and I did all research by myself. I used to learn all those alphabetic words, and there's so many things that I learned. It's really hard to explain in one way, but that's what I used to do.
Oh, this is really scintillating words from you. But sometimes lots of, I think, hundred and thousand of students always ask you a question, brother, how should I start my journey?
How should I start my journey?
Yeah, so would you please tell us, for the beginner, a question so always arise, how should I start?
Okay. Well, first I would say start with the chatting. That's what I did. Because if you are going to start to speak at the very first time, if you don't know anything about English, you will not be able to do this. So first, I would say go start chatting with your friends, and once you're feeling a little comfortable with your chatting, I would say move on and then start with the speak. But don't go speaking at the very first level of your English. First learn chatting, then start to speak in English.
Oh, it's really different. I think it's really different. We always heard that we have to learn grammar, but today he has given his view.
Syed Yamin Ali.
Syed Yamin
Ali.
Syed Yamin Ali. A hard name.
Say Yamin.
It's really hard for me to pronounce his name. As far as I heard his voice and difference, really, as I can compare his name and his voice, I cannot explain his name. So thank you so much for giving your views.